Hello, and welcome to the beginner introduction of the Nikon DSLR D-7100 camera use and operation. In this video, we will cover the basics of tripod setup and breakdown, camera setup and breakdown, and finally, camera settings. To begin, place the tripod on the ground and remove it from its case. Stand the tripod up and fully extend the legs. Release the bottom lock on each of the legs and raise the tripod to the height you want to shoot at. To adjust the handle, loosen the lock, tilt it to the position you would like, and then tighten the lock again. Next, we'll move on to the camera. To put the SD card into the camera, open the latch on the side and put the SD card in the number 1 slot. Then, insert the battery by opening the latch on the bottom of the camera and insert. Then, we are ready to put the camera on the tripod. To do this, you will need the tripod plate. To secure the plate to the camera, loosen the screw and attach it in the hole at the bottom of the camera. Next, press the lock on the side of the tripod and then slide the camera into place. Then tighten the manual lock on the other side to make sure the camera is secure. To test if the camera is secure, pick the tripod up by the camera and see if it stays. To adjust, tilt, and pan with the tripod, you will need to make the levers as loose or as tight as you want, depending on how much you want to adjust. To level the camera on the tripod, take the handle at the bottom and twist it accordingly. To make sure it's level, use the bubble level that's green. The bubble should be in the middle to make sure it's level. Then, you tighten the handle to make sure it stays in place. To take apart the tripod, first remove the camera. To do this, you will need to press the spring lock on the side of the tripod and slide the camera forward to release it. You will also need to loosen the manual lock on the other side. From there, you will loosen the screw on the tripod plate and detach it from the camera. Make sure to put the plate in the tripod bag so you don't lose it. From there, you will take out the SD card by opening the latch on the side of the camera and simply pressing on it. It should pop out. Then you'll remove the battery by opening the latch on the bottom of the camera and press the small latch to release it. Make sure to put the battery in the camera bag, keep track of your SD card, and put the lens cap back on the lens for protection. Then you can put the camera back in its bag. To take apart the tripod, release the bottom lock on the legs until they stop moving. Then tighten that lock and put it together like so. Then you'll put the tripod back in its bag and you're good to go.
After you've set up your camera and tripod, it's time to make sure your camera settings are in order. The switches on the lens should be as follows: Manual, VR off, and Norm. Then, make sure the top rings are set to M and S. Now on to the internal settings. First, we'll cover the basics of video quality. Video quality can be changed in the shooting menu. Make sure the image area is set to 1.3x in the shooting menu. Then enter the movie settings menu and make sure the quality is set to high. Resolution should be set to 1920 by 1080 60i. Next, let's cover focus. To adjust the focus, simply rotate the lens dial located closest to the camera body. In order to obtain critical focus, zoom into the subject, focus, then zoom out. You can zoom in and out using the magnifying glass buttons with plus and minus signs respectively, or the outermost ring on the camera lens. When adjusting the aperture, use the switch surrounding the Live View button to ensure that the camera is set to capture image and not video. From there, use the secondary dial to adjust the camera's f-stop. Once you've reached the desired f-stop, simply switch the camera back to video mode. The f-stop should stay the same. To adjust shutter speed, simply turn the primary dial without depressing any buttons. Next, we'll be adjusting the camera's ISO. To do this, just depress the zoom out button and use the primary dial to reach the desired level. Lastly, we'll be adjusting white balance. White balance can be adjusted in 2 ways. The first option is to open the shooting menu and open the white balance section. From there, you can choose from a number of lighting presets or enter the value yourself. You can also change the white balance while in live view. To do so, depress the button labeled WB and use the primary dial to cycle through presets and the secondary dial to adjust light temperature.
Knowing how to manage and use audio equipment is just as important as everything previously discussed. When you acquire a boom microphone, first remove the included windscreen. Acknowledge the power switch on the microphone. Insert fresh batteries inside the battery compartment for optimal performance. Ensure you have the proper cable connection going from your audio equipment to camera equipment. Adjusting audio levels through the camera requires you to simply press the I button while on live mode, then navigate to the microphone settings from there. Now that you've been trained on the basics of the Nikon DSLR D-7100, you should feel confident in your ability to accurately capture quality video and audio. Make sure to check the cage for equipment availability and reservations, and thank you for watching.